I'm gonna need this before anything starts. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's up guys, it's Brandon J, and today, or I should say tonight, it is 1:40 in the morning. Tonight we are going to be going over early spring baits. Now I'm gonna tell you about some of my personal favorite baits for early spring. These might not be your typical baits that normal people would throw, but these are what I'm gonna throw. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my top 5 lures that I'm gonna use for spring. First, I want to go over tackle and a little bit of organization. So people always ask me how I keep my tackle organized. I'm a very organized person. I like things to be in order as far as like aesthetically. So I started labeling all my boxes, everything like that. But I also found that I had an enormous amount of tackle, and I don't like bringing all of my tackle with me when I go fishing. So I have one tackle box, but I also have to store all of my tackle. So I'm gonna show you a little trick of how I manage to deal with all of the tackle. Basically, I bring this tackle box with me wherever I go, whether it's on the kayak, ponds. This is my tackle box. This is what I'm taking when I go out. However, that box does not hold all of my tackle. So I had to come up with a solution. How do I organize all of my tackle and do it well? So I went to Walmart and actually bought this. I'm gonna have to upgrade this soon though to a little bit bigger one because I have it like slam packed full. But what I do is I've organized each drawer to hold something specific. So the top drawer, it's gonna be all of my soft plastics. There's a ton of stuff in here, whether it's flukes, creature baits, you got little like swim baits, all types of stuff. And then I have all of my hard baits in the second drawer here. I mean, I've got whopper ploppers, jerk baits, giant swim bait looking things, deep divers. I mean, I've got it all there. And then the last box has all of my terminal tackle. So line, a bunch of hooks, weights, anything like that. You can see here I've got a ton of just hooks down here in the bottom. It's just a quick and easy way. If I'm going fishing and I know, hey, you know what, I need a couple creature baits, I'm gonna look in my soft plastic bin here and I'm gonna see what kind of creature baits I can use, grab a couple creature baits with me and go. It makes my tackle organization way easier. So for you fellas that have a bunch of tackle, this might be a great solution for you. Plus it's like 20 bucks, like that whole little get up right there. It's like 20 bucks, so it's not that bad. So with all that being said, now it's time to talk tackle. So before anything, I just want to tell you that this isn't necessarily right or wrong, but this is what I like to throw in early spring. And I've been having a bunch of people ask, so basically I'm just gonna go over what baits I normally use. All right, so first up on the list are jigs. Now, I'm sure you knew that was coming. My channel's name is Jiggin with Jordan. I don't really use jigs that often, but I do find that they work really well in early spring. You won't see me throw jigs very often just because I don't like fishing slow, but this is a great option. All of the jigs that I throw always have a trailer on them no matter what. I don't like to throw a bare jig. And they're always gonna be very natural colors. Black and blue is a great color choice, as well as something like pumpkin seed or something like that. The trailers that I use on these guys are all Rage Crawls. I really like Rage Crawl products. No, there's not a promotion for them, but their stuff is pretty good. I still don't know why their stuff is scented like coffee. I asked on my Snapchat story and got a whole bunch of different weird answers. But yeah, so with jigs, these are 2 routes that I would go. All right, next up is very similar to that. It is a chatterbait. Now this is really close to a jig, but this is a moving bait. Something that you can fish if you're a power fisherman and not get bored just jigging it up and down. So chatterbaits are a great early spring bait. This blade does a lot of water displacement, does a lot of water vibration. It's gonna attract fish. I have 2 in my hand right now because I wanna show you some different tactics that I use with chatterbaits. Just like jigs, I always want to have a trailer on these. I really don't like throwing a bare jig, nor do I like throwing a bare chatterbait. I feel like the trailer is pretty much what sells the bait. It's going to give it all of its action. Here's 2 trailers that I would recommend. First up is going to be this big Rage Crawl right here. This guy's claws, they flap like crazy when you're reeling it through the water. You have a lot of movement with this blade already, but you're gonna have those crawls flapping and it's going to draw strikes. I would recommend, just like the jigs, matching the trailers to the skirt on the chatterbait. This next option here is a little bit different. It doesn't have a rage crawl trailer on it. It actually has this split tail, these split curl tails on it. So if you can see, it's basically just a grub with two little split tails, and it works phenomenal. Also, you can see that I'm matching the skirt with the trailer again. They're at least very close. They're both very natural colors. Moving on, in no particular order, next up we have lipless crankbaits. Now these guys are perfect for searching water. It doesn't matter if you're using a rattle trap or if you're using a Livingston or what is this? I don't even know what this is. A Seabill. It doesn't matter. As long as you can throw a lipless crankbait, you're gonna be fine. There's a couple ways to fish it that I personally use. One of those is just cast and reel back in. The next one is throwing it into some type of grass. If you have vegetation on your lake, throw it into the grass. Don't be afraid to get it into the grass. Rip it out with your rod and then just keep letting it fall into the grass. What happens is the bait actually falls into the grass. It struggles, rips out of the grass, falls back in. And you're gonna get those reaction strikes from those fish. It looks like a really, really struggling fish is getting caught up in those reeds and get pulled out and caught back in. And you're gonna draw strikes with that bait. If you don't believe me, look at this. This bait has been absolutely destroyed. It's caught a lot of fish doing the techniques that I just told you about. All right, we are getting to my all-time favorite bait. This bait has grown on me a lot in the past 3-4 months. I've really fallen in love with this bait, and now I'm gonna use it pretty much all year long. A lot of people don't throw these all year long, but I'm not your average fisherman, right? It is a jerk bait. These things are my absolute, well, one of my absolute favorite baits ever. I love throwing these things. Make sure you get one, whether it's a Livingston or a Mega Bass, or I don't even have any other jerk baits. Make sure you get a jerk bait. Matter of fact, let me show you how serious I am about jerk baits. Jerkin. I know I'm about to catch some weird stuff in the comment section, but this is a jerk bait box that is solely for jerk baits. I have like right here. I have a ton of jerk baits that gotta get you off, little guy. You're not a jerk bait. You're a lipless crank. You're good, but you're not a jerk bait. I have a ton of jerk baits, and I love jerk baits. I think they're a great bait all year long. They do work really well in early spring. You're just gonna throw them out, give it a fast twitch. You can check out some of my previous videos where I use a jerk bait. I kind of explain how to use it, but they absolutely destroy fish. The fish cannot resist that pause. The bait is all erratic, and then it just pauses, and it will just spin. Make sure you get a good suspending jerk bait. That's what's gonna get your strikes. That bait's gonna go crazy, then it's just gonna stop and sit there. And most of the time you're gonna catch your fish right on that pause. Normally I hit it like 1, 2, 3 really big with the rod and let it pause for like 4 or 5 seconds. And those fish just hammer it, man. If I can uncluster all these, I wanna show you my very first jerk bait and what it looks like now. It's crazy. Cool, I got it. So my very first jerk bait was a Mega Bass. This thing has absolutely been destroyed by fish. It has marks and tatters all over it from just being slammed. That just goes to show you that these fish really do destroy these jerk baits and just hit them hard. I've caught a bunch of fish on jerk baits, and they're really, really fun to use. All right, so here we go. The last bait, the 5th bait. My 5th favorite early spring bait is actually a 3-way tie. I could not pick which one was gonna make the cut last. Mind you, none of these are in actual order from like best to worst. These are just baits that I would throw. But I have a 3-way tie for this last position. And here's your 3-way tie. Zoom Super Flukes, Kitex, and then of course a spinnerbait. You can't go wrong with these 3 options. They just flat out catch fish. Any time of the year you can throw a spinnerbait. You can find a way to use it. You can find a way to throw it. Burn it in, roll it slow. You can do whatever you want. It's gonna catch fish for you. Kitex swim baits are something that are like very hot right now. I usually throw them on a fish head spin and do very well on them. They're just a shad imitation bait. If you have shad anywhere that you're fishing, a Kitex is going to be a lure that you wanna have. And they're like fish scented, they have these crazy scents, and they swim super, super well. So I would make sure you have a Kitex in your tackle box. they catch fish. The last one to make the cut is very near and dear to my heart. I've been fishing it since I was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. My dad actually got me onto these, and it's the Zoom Super Fluke. The one, the only, the original Zoom Super Fluke. It is by far my favorite bait ever. It's pretty close. That jerk bait's like coming on up there, but the Zoom Super Fluke is absolutely going to catch you fish all year long. Early spring. I know we're talking about springtime right now, but it catches fish all year long. So you can't go wrong with this Zoom Super Fluke. Those are my 5, well, 6 and 7. Well, those are my favorite early spring baits. So quick recap. You got your jigs, any natural color chatterbait that has a lot of action on the trailer, any lipless crankbaits, pretty much any jerk bait, Kitech swim baits, spinner baits. They don't have to be white. I mean, these are all white, but any color spinner bait. Well, maybe not any color, but spinner baits, that's the point. And then of course, the good old Super Fluke. Alright guys, well that pretty much wraps this video up. I hope it helps you guys out a little bit more with your early spring fishing. Going over a couple different baits that are going to be good to use. And for the people who are asking, I hope me going over how I actually organize my tackle helps you out as well. Yeah, it's 2:30 in the morning. That's good. Whew. But really quick, I just wanted to sincerely say thank you guys so much. I've had so much support recently on the channel. Some of the videos are really blowing up. It seems like it's easy for a video to get 70 or 80,000 views now, and that's absolutely ridiculous. Just to think it all started with this little duck right here. But back to the point, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for really engaging in the channel and checking out all my videos and just being so nice in the comment section. I really appreciate it. You guys are so awesome. Alright, well enough of all that. If you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful, make sure you leave a big old thumbs up on this video. Also in the comment section below, let me know some of your favorite springtime baits. Let me know if what I said was one of them or if there's something I missed. So yeah, just leave all that stuff in the comment section below. I'll make sure I check them out. Time to end the video. Thanks guys for watching. Peace. Hey Tristan! Do you want to come smack the camera and end this video? Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm so excited about river treasure season.
I was not expecting it.
See you later, dude!